Hello, I'm Michael Altman, coming to you from the LG Digital Studio at Georgetown University School of Continuing Studies. In focus today, the new luxury traveler. I'm joined by Nicolle Scavuzzo, Vice President of Global Guest Recognition and Insight for the Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts. Welcome, Nicolle.
Thank you, Michael.
Nicolle, at Four Seasons, you're responsible for the global blueprint to deliver better recognition, retention, and customer growth. This seems kind of at odds for a company that has no customer loyalty program. What exactly does this mean, and how does your team achieve this?
It's a great question. We get asked that all the time. Why doesn't Four Seasons have a points program? We're a luxury brand, and that's just not what we're going to do. For our example and our response is usually you wouldn't go into Hermes and buy a purse and expect to get a free belt, and that's not going to happen at Four Seasons. So for us, it's all about creating personalized service that will create the loyalty. And that means recognizing every guest consistently for every stay that they have with us around the world. So our blueprint really started by learning from the hotels. We went literally around the world to understand how our employees want to recognize guests and what data that they would need to do that. And by capturing and gathering feedback from our staff, we were able to design a custom CRM. And that custom CRM is a user interface for our employees. It's a database that stores insight and harvests trends. And it's the ability for us to reevaluate operational processes and simplify them. So our blueprint truly is a cross-functional mandate for the company.
Sounds fantastic and very innovative. The other thing I want to ask you is that one of the findings of your recent research entitled Portrait of the Guest states that Four Seasons must think about the future luxury traveler in a new way. Who is this new luxury traveler, and how will you think differently about them?
Well, everyone talks about millennials, so there's no doubt that that is a new customer for Four Seasons. But interestingly, the millennial is very similar in desires and needs to the affluent luxury customer. So it's kind of great for us because we just have to look at our current base of customers and tweak our thinking around product design and service delivery for that luxury affluent customer. One of the examples of an area that we're playing in right now is how we would deliver high-tech, high personal touch with high-tech delivery.
Right.
So guests like to chat a lot right now. That's a great example for us. People want to chat with us on the way to the hotel and order room service, or they have a question as they're planning their trip and they're chatting with us. That's amazing. What our job is to make that experience for the guest seamless. Behind the scenes, we have to route that chat to the right department and know what's relevant for in-room dining or for housekeeping or for the front desk, but for the guest, it's seamless. And I think that's a really interesting manifestation of how we're looking at the affluent traveler. I'd say as we think about who the new customer is of the future, we definitely have our eyes set on the population growth that's happening in India and China and Russia. And we're looking at just trends in the world. You know, families are different. People like to travel multi-generations together now. There's a lot of same-sex couples, just new blended families, and service delivery has to change and product design has to change to match the new families that we're welcoming into the hotels and the multicultural and globalization that we have.
And it sounds like what's underneath this, what's driving this, is personalization and customization.
Absolutely. So really understanding what's most personal and what's most special for that stay for a guest has to be, you know, the cornerstone of how we deliver that great service, for sure.
Fabulous. You also suggest in the same study that your future guest will seek more from travel. Can you help us understand what more means?
Yeah, I think, so we talked a little bit about the high personal touch with technology. That's absolutely going to be a place where we're investing. There's a lot of talk about AI and how we can use artificial intelligence in delivering service. I would say, yeah, there might be an opportunity for robots to help us tell people what the weather looks like, but we are a service company, so our human touch is never going away. Another area I think in a trend is just truly, you know, connecting all touch points a guest engages with us to make it very seamless. So personalization. You can't just talk to a guest in voice or in text or in email separately. They all have to connect. So we're spending a lot of time making sure that we have an omni-channel, frictionless experience for how the guest interacts with us. Corporate social responsibility, it's an expectation now. So there's a lot of time and thinking in how we are developing an approach for that. And then I'd say the last piece is, which is really interesting, is it's a social world. Everybody wants to take that selfie and to get that money shot. So our design and the appointment of our restaurants and how we deliver service is really focused on that social world and connecting people to a sense of place and connecting them to our environment. So a lot of the design that you see now with Four Seasons is really just breathtaking and really innovative.
Right. So it sounds like at Four Seasons, it's still high touch before high tech.
It definitely is, yeah.
Great. So finally, Nicolle, you have spent your career in strategy roles focused on loyalty, data, and customer transformation across retail, financial, consulting, and now luxury hospitality. What suggestions would you provide to those who are interested in pursuing a similar career path?
Well, it's really interesting that I love this question. It's made me really think about where my career has taken me. And I'd say, I know it sounds a little bit cliche, but you have to love what you do. And when I was in university, there wasn't a course around data and analytics, and customer centricity wasn't yet a word, and I sort of fell into it. And I'm so grateful and lucky for the experiences I've had. So when I think about my career, I'd say I have a stream of focus around loyalty and data and insights, but I've always changed my industry, and that's really cool for me. So a vantage point coming from different sectors, or a vantage point of coming from a different area within a company and in a hotel really helps. I think you bring more to the table. So I would say find something that you love, go really deep in that, but try and get different hats and wear those different hats, because you offer more at the table when you can be working with others.
That's wonderful. Nicolle, this has been great. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and your experience and your passion for all things hospitality and data and insight. We appreciate you being here today.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Thanks to everyone out there for watching, and stay tuned for more from the LG Digital Studio at Georgetown SCS.